Hello, you, and welcome to an experimental type of video, really. Just now that I'm back, I thought I'd try something a bit new. And in this case, in the background, I will be playing that game that a few people on the internet have been talking about. Anyway, what I did want to do was just cover a few news stories since I've been gone and just throw in my 2 cents, really. Um, it's kind of something I've been toying with doing, just doing news stories and things like that, and maybe throw in a few reviews every now and again too. Anyway, it has been a while, and I thought I'd give this a go. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got up first. Okay, so it only seems right, really, to first of all talk about the big news story that's really overshadowed the gaming industry in the last 3 weeks or so. Silent Hills being cancelled. Okay, this is particularly sad because obviously we had the playable trailer available on the PS4. I don't own a PS4 myself, but I've watched some videos on it and it looked absolutely brilliant. It generated a lot of hype for the Silent Hills games and got a lot of people very, very excited. And a few cracks started showing in whether the game was ever actually going to get a release when Konami said they were taking down the playable trailer from the PlayStation Store. Okay, fair enough, it happens sometimes. Sometimes they want a demo out for just so long and then they take it down. But then we started getting some comments coming through, and I believe the first person we heard from was Guillermo del Toro, who basically said that the project was probably not going to happen. In turn, later we got another reply from Norman Reedus of Walking Dead fame, who again said, "Yeah, this project is dead. It isn't happening," and things spiraled very quickly after that. It's not very nice. It's not good for the industry at all. I've got a feeling it's something linked to Hideo Kojima leaving Konami once he's done with the new Metal Gear Solid game. Because obviously he's played a big part in the Silent Hills game as well, a collaboration between him and Guillermo del Toro. And to be honest, it was a bit insensitive of Konami, who, in the same breath as announcing that Silent Hills would not be happening, also said that in the future they will be making more Silent Hill games. Now, this is particularly insulting because the Silent Hill games have not been great in recent years. This was the first one which looked genuinely promising in a long time, and it's just really sad that this is not being made. Konami then, about a week later maybe, then announced that they will be not focusing so much on console gaming anymore and moving into mobile gaming, a trend that has unfortunately been picking up some speed. I think Square Enix announced that they were going to focus more on mobile gaming, and Nintendo as well have mentioned it. It's really sad for the state of console gaming. It's really not good. But yeah, it's kind of a little disheartening, really, because I especially feel for Guillermo del Toro. This is the second time he's tried to get himself involved in gaming. He's always mentioned that he really has an ambition to get into it, and both times it's fallen flat and the project has died. It's really, really sad, and really is going to make a nice segue into my next topic. Because Guillermo del Toro has been rumoured to have been making the cinematic trailer for the upcoming Fallout 4 trailer, which sounds fantastic. I mean, I am a big Guillermo del Toro fan. I really like Pan's Labyrinth. I like The Devil's Backbone, and the Hellboy films were entertaining as well. So he's one of these directors who I do enjoy to watch. I like the direction he tends to take things in. And as much as I love the idea of him making a cinematic trailer for Fallout 4, I'm going to pour some cold water over it. He said himself he is done with video games. He seemed very, very disappointed at the idea that he had failed again in order to do something in gaming. He seemed very upset about it, and I don't see him jumping into something video game related again anytime soon. Fair enough. This is for a trailer. It's not that he's designing the game. It Another reason why I would be doubtful about it is because this would have been in the works for a while. I mean, E3 isn't that far off. Putting up a cinematic style trailer for it, I don't know whether it's really something that can be done in the time since he actually said he was done with video games. So I would be doubtful over it. However, I am not doubtful about Fallout 4 being officially announced at E3. I think that is almost a certainty, as I don't know whether you know or not, but Fallout 4 was pretty much unintentionally announced. You see, one of the artists who is apparently working on the cinematic trailer, I think his name was Lewis Neves, I think I'm pronouncing that right, he leaked on his LinkedIn account that he is working on a Fallout 4 cinematic trailer. This was very quickly taken down. It's kind of, it was a legal thing, and in taking it down, and I think the guy was told it was a breach of contract. I think it was an NDA or something like that was posted on his LinkedIn account, I think. Something to do with intellectual property being up that he didn't have permission to basically announce or make public. And the thing is, this pretty much confirms that yes, this Fallout 4 game is on the way, it's being made, the trailer has been worked on, and is probably going to be aired at this year's E3. Bethesda have announced a conference for it. They are scheduled to announce Doom 4, for those of us keeping track of how many Doom games there's been. And yes, so we have that to look forward to at E3. Okay, the last significant news story that I really want to talk about that's happened in the last few weeks is I want to talk a bit about the Kickstarters. So, to counter the first story I was talking about, this is fantastic news. I'm a big fan of the Castlevania games. The old kind of like side-scrolling ones. I used to love them. And going back to Konami, they've decided people don't want to play these anymore. So the Castlevania I've forgotten what they're called now. The new Castlevania games that have been released, the last two, they have taken a very different approach to the game. They've made it more of a God of War style game. It's level based. You haven't got the whole wandering around a castle thing anymore in not so linear means. The old Castlevania games really rewarded exploration and things like that. It was angular. It just felt like a very satisfying game when you actually managed to find your way around the castle, remembered where you'd have to go when you've got a new ability to go there. But anyway, we may not be getting the Castlevania game we want, but we are getting Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, a Kickstarter, which I'm actually going to put a link to if you click the little picture that I've put down at the bottom of the screen there. Because basically, this is a spiritual successor to Castlevania. It's actually fronted by Koji Igarashi, who has actually had very, very close ties to the Castlevania series. That's why this is a spiritual successor to Castlevania. The gameplay is going to be in the style of it, and like I said, Koji Igarashi is on board, so you can expect this to be very, very good. I'm very, very excited about this. There's still some time if you want to get involved in the Kickstarter and pledge some money to it, because this looks to be very, very good. It's already reached a hell of a lot of its stretch goals. And to me, it just looks absolutely fantastic. And it follows in the vein of what is now, I think, the most successful Kickstarter in ukulele, which is the spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie. I'm probably not as interested in that one. I'm not saying it's bad that it's on there. I'm just saying it's not really my type of game. But I think this is fantastic for the industry because it seems as if for those of us who are crying out for these throwback games and things like that, with an update brought up to the standard of games that we have today and stuff like that, but without losing the old style, this is great news, and this is probably the future of the way that console game is going. Because whilst the major developers are abandoning the media, or at least shying themselves away from it, you've at least got a few creators and things like that who are actually taking to Kickstarter and promising to make the games that people want, and releasing them on the consoles as well. This isn't a game that's just going to be released as an indie game on PC or something like that. These two are actual games that are going to be fully released on consoles in physical copies as well as downloadable. Like I said, this is absolutely fantastic news. Because gaming is going a bit stale, and I will admit that. You still get fantastic games, but it is going stale, and having those few creative people out there who are going to make games for and listen to what people want, I think is great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So it's not all doom and gloom for console gaming at the moment. There are positives that are bumbling their way around at the moment. And yeah, I am massively looking forward to this. Expect to see people like Hideo Kojima. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes to Kickstarter soon, maybe with his own production company, and starts making some games in the spirit of other things he's made. I know he doesn't have the rights to either Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid, but I think he does have the rights to the Fox engine, which Metal Gear Solid is based on. So it would be very easy for him to set up and make games that he wants to make. But anyway, yeah, that's a positive note to end on. Or is it? Yes, it is actually, because now I'm just going to do the outro. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for watching the video. I'm thinking of doing more news stories like this. So please let me know what you thought about the video. I'm thinking just on a weekly basis, maybe doing things like this and throwing the odd review or feature or something like that when it's quiet news week. Because let's face it, not all weeks you have something significant happen in gaming. I don't really want to lower myself to doing the stories that I'm not really interested in. So yeah, don't consider this really to be a solely news-based site or an YouTube channel, because I am only going to be reporting on stuff that I particularly enjoy. Anyway, Witcher 3. It is a masterpiece, but I'm not going to go into too much detail because I plan on doing a review-style video very, very soon on it. This has just been me bumming around and playing it, doing a few side things whilst I'm at it. But yeah, it is a very, very good game. If you don't have it already, I would very much recommend it. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Alright, bye!